And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Sammy. He's a little tuckered out. He's done pretty much very, very little today, but he wanted to say hi. He's a little disturbed by everything that's going on, probably worried that I'm leaving, and as you can see, he's fighting to get away. He doesn't want to talk to you. This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello and welcome to the 231st edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled Wild Animals. That's right. I will be amongst them, I gather, when you are hearing this, or so I've been told, as I will be in South Africa on a safari there. I'm calling it a safari, but we kind of go from place to place and wander amongst them. And this is insane that I am doing this, and really it's not something I had ever thought of as a kid that I would be doing, and especially now that I am going to wander amongst wild animals as that will be more calming than being here. that we're wilder than wild animals. It's in part it's to get some sense of perspective, which I am desperately looking for, is as to what it is that possesses us to act wilder than the wildest beast. We are crazy, okay? There seems to be some method to their fucking madness, all right? Called survival. We don't have to survive. It's not important for us, vital, to the point of madness to make a point, okay? What we're supposed to do is to sit down and work together, and I believe this to be to assure all of us to at least have a fucking fighting chance for a good life. And I've time and again I've said that I was raised middle class, and for all intents and purposes, for all of his babbling and gobbledygook and the ghost of Christmas past, that was Joe Biden. He felt it was important to bring back the middle class because they're gone. They're gone. Okay, and so I'm hoping that by wandering amongst the lions and tigers, I don't know if there'll be tigers there. I actually am looking forward to being surprised as to what I will be seeing, and because I haven't had the time to really look at it. I was at Chautauqua, where the curating that comedy festival, and so I'm in many ways wish to be surprised. I really am looking forward to this, and I am, as I've said, I'm lucky to be able to do it. But having worked and done, at times 200 shows a year, I wanted to be shown something, and I have many, many times. But this is really this is an extraordinary opportunity for an incredible adventure. And the thing that scares me less than the wild animals is what the planes are like. That get me from one place to another, and and I'm lucky that I can do this. I know that, but it does freak me out. I'm hoping they're not little tiny planes. I'm hoping there's some. They're built pretty big, and they can get us where we need to be going without going whoa. And those sounds were you can hear those sounds on my upcoming radio drama, Flying Through South Africa. No, I'm really looking forward to this, but it's just extraordinary to me that I'm wandering among beasts in order to understand with the beasts that we've become, and that we can't just shut the fuck up, and that well, I certainly can't shut up, and so I'm going away in order for a little quiet time amongst the roar of the lions. And their roar makes more sense than the roar of some of these folks, J.D. Vance, and I could go on and on and on and on and on, and I won't. It'll be interesting to wander amongst those animals, wondering, in essence, what it would be like if our government ran the South African government in terms of these beasts, okay? And how would we deal with them in order to save money? Huh? What would we be doing? I can't even imagine, because what's occurring in terms of saving money is going to cost us in the future. We have done this continually as a people. Well, we're going to save some money now. Yeah? Good luck. Okay? The only way you save money is when you spend the money you need to spend now. All right? Yeah, cut some budgets here and there. But to rip them apart, and I'm just repeating myself. That's what I need, because these tapes keep running through my head. But we've done this before, and we will continue to do it, because we believe that, I can remember when Chris Christie made the decision that he was not, with federal funding sitting there, that would allow the trains to come out of Penn Station to get an extra fucking tunnel through. I think it was not only I think it was in part for traffic. It doesn't matter. It was for traffic or if it was for trains. And he turned the money down. He said, "Nah, it's too expensive." So I'm sure they'll be doing it. They may even be doing it now. And it will, I'm sure, become more expensive. You don't save money by doing it later. Okay? Doesn't work that way. If you wait, it's going to cost more. That's the deal. Why? Inflation. I rest my fucking case. And I am not going to go and prattle on too long today, because I've got to go pack. And do I know how to pack to wander among wild animals? I've done it once. I'm sure I can do it again, but I'm going to sit there and, as I always do, stew over every fucking thing that I'm going to take. So I will just waste my fucking time. And I really just, I've got to stop in doing this for a little bit, and it'll be good for you and it'll be good for me, and I'm sadly going to leave my wild animal behind, the puppy that is known as Sammy, because he's a bit crazy and has had and I hate to, no, I don't hate to share it. I'm sharing it. He's had a bout of diarrhea, and so he's on a blander diet now and probiotics. Sure, why not? And so we'll hopefully. That's got to be rough for a dog. He's kind of eating everything in sight. He goes, "Really? The kibble is fucking with me? Really, you're feeding him kibble? You're not doing the farmer's dog?" Okay, shut up. Okay, all right. It's well, I'll figure out what's best for the dog. I've been with the pooch 6 weeks. We'll see where we end up in a few more. But I'm saddened by the fact that he has to go through this, and he whines a little, and so do I when I have to clean it up. I'm leaving him in good hands, so I'm not worried. And I would have preferred, if I could have, to have spent more time with him before I leave. But I saw him, I wanted him, he's here, and this is the way it's going. And I think he'll adjust. He'll probably adjust better than me, and probably within about 3 days, when the stomach ailment passes, he'll go. He won't even remember me. But this is some time we're living in, and I am so glad to be leaving the wild animals here for the wild animals there, because What are we worried about? What are they worried about? He can do whatever he wants, but boy, you're not going to check. You said you're going to look into the Epstein files. Where are they? Where are the Epstein files? Oh, for God. Seriously? Of all that has happened, the people are going to be losing. A lot of them, the ones who were screaming, they're going to be losing their health insurance, their Medicaid. But this is really the thing that needs to be. Boy, we need to see what this is about. And it's not even in terms of him. It's in terms of the others that they want to catch. They want to get them, whoever they are. I had a dinner at his house. Oh, no, you had a dinner at his house? What were you doing? You must have gone crazy. No, I didn't. I'm not going to go into it. At some point I will. But the one thing I learned is that he is very, those of us who were there, was in a sense to reflect, be a reflection of how great he is. One of those people who gathers around so-called celebrities and thinks that improves his image. But the one thing I learned is he may be an idiot in a lot of ways and really a pervert, not certainly many ways. But the one thing that he's not, I don't think, is that fucking stupid that he left a file, okay? Because he had plenty of time when he was sitting there in prison to start squawking. But you want to worry about that? With all the shit we're going to go through, you're going to worry about Epstein. Huh? Really? That's what we'll worry about. Not the measles, not all the things that I've listed, that many have listed. Not going to worry about that. We're going to about Epstein and what's in those files. Because if we can find out what's in those files, everything changes for everyone, everywhere. And we become the great nation that we were meant to be. Because that's why the founding fathers wrote the Declaration of Independence. They wrote it so that we could then find someone like Epstein and open the books that he had left behind. And in them are the secret. The secret will be unlocked. What the fuck? God, I'm glad to be getting out of here. And I am lucky. And so I'm going to leave you with this. No, here's a little headline. Cuts endanger U.S. response to calamities. In an effort to shrink the federal government, President Trump, I kind of yelled about this last week. I will continue to yell about it because it needs to be repeated over and over and over again. In an effort to shrink the federal government, President Trump and congressional Republicans have taken steps that are diluting the country's ability to anticipate, prepare for, and respond to catastrophic flooding and other extreme weather events. Disaster experts say. Well, who's a disaster expert? All of us are, okay? Every single one of us who has a goddamn bit of common sense, all right? Then we're going to have to go through, well, yeah, how did that happen? Boy, we didn't protect ourselves? Son of a bitch. So an Australian man, here's a word was charged with stealing some $65,000 worth of Wagyu bull semen. Those are some words I bet you didn't expect to hear today. I certainly didn't expect to read them. Wagyu bull semen. Man, oh man. Detective Chief Inspector Cameron Whiteside said the tank of fluid could be worth even more when you consider the future benefit or the breeding capabilities of that stock. Wagyu bull semen. I'm surprised they're not selling it. Just a touch that they put in the drinks, for $1,000 a pop. Really more incredible and pricier than the world's oldest cognacs. Oh, yes. This one is from 1760. And it's $12,000 to drink, just a bit of it. But that Wagyu bull semen, whoo, off the charts. And that's it. I do hope you enjoy the incredible rants that have rolled in, and please continue to send them in. things have slowed down a little, I have to say, and so there's more than an opportunity. If you want to get something off your chest, please feel free. Send it my way. I'm looking forward to reading them, and I'm looking forward to this time away. I'll get to them when I come back. And you enjoy the rest of this summer. And I will be back before it's over for when it's really fucking hot, when we're boiling and people are going, no, there's no problem with our climate. And let's get some more gas pumping. So take care, please. And don't let the wild animals get to you, okay? Because they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be wild, and they shouldn't be animals. That's where I'm going, and I'll tell you about them when I get home. Wishing you all nothing but the best. I put Sammy on my lap to say goodbye, but I tried to do it earlier, and I don't think he was happy about it. Also, remember, go to lewisblack.com. You can see where the last 6 shows will be. This is at the end of August. San Francisco, Santa Cruz, Vegas, Los Angeles, and San Diego, Sacramento, ending in Sacramento. I didn't think that the tour would end there. But life is full of surprises. It's been a surprise to be able to spend all of this time with all of you. You're the gift.
I want to introduce to you now the host of the Rant Is Due, Lewis Black.
I'm going to read the following. I think it's important in terms of many of you who've arrived here and might be kind of stunned by what you hear this evening. Researchers, there's a word you're not going to hear anymore. Researchers at the University of Rochester found that people who curse frequently tend to have higher IQs. Than their less profane counterparts. Cursing is associated with a love of language and a bigger vocabulary. Researchers said. Okay? And the reason I told you that was because when you go back to work and there's that person who bothers you there, irritates you, the one that HR won't throw out, you take a moment when they pass you one morning and go, hey, fuck you. They will turn to you and say, what was that about? And you say, I just wanted you to see how smart I am. And so we begin with this rant from Emma Gomez. Why is it that nobody ever listens to the turn off your cell phones announcement? I am 25 years old and I suspect this is an older adults thing. Yeah, as opposed to the kids who just keep fucking watching it. Why, in the middle of a Broadway show, a panel, a comedy special being taped for broadcast, am I always encountering the oldest, crustiest person fumbling with their phone's alarm on full blast for the entire duration of its phone ring? They're pulling it out of their purse filled with candy wrappers and other loud, crinkly things, and holding the blaring phone like they've never seen it before in their lives. In the middle of a show. It takes literally 5 fucking seconds to turn it off. And I just wonder what goes through people's brains when they leave it on full volume. It's like holding a ticking time bomb and just being like, well, I don't think it'll go off. Thank you, Emma. There are about 7 rants that were written on this subject, all of them very short. I chose this one by Daniel Mansour. I'm so excited. Chautauqua was 151 years old. In that time, we've invented the car, plane, moon landing, penicillin. I hear Chautauqua will soon figure out how to make the microphones work in the amphitheater. Thank you, Daniel. Rob Picken. A gathering of do-gooder liberal Christians, many of whom well, let's start at the beginning, jackass. Oh my God, Chautauqua. A gathering of do-gooder liberal Christians, many of whom, ironically, couldn't be more rude if they tried. I mean, what is so hard about being on time? Is it a moral obstacle? A technological dilemma? Did Jesus say, "Blessed are the perpetually 10 minutes late, for they shall inherit the peace"? And if you're late, fine, life happens, but why? Why must you then wander the aisles like you're lost in the desert? Sit down. Stop climbing over people like it's an obstacle course. And let's talk about the bodily symphony, whispering, coughing, sneezing. Do you think people around you are there to hear your commentary? Are we at a concert or the infirmary? I've heard fewer respiratory issues in an ER waiting room. Just cover your damn mouth or stay home and live stream it like a considerate person with bronchitis. And this one blows my mind, not everyone needs to yell that a mic isn't working like they're calling hogs across a canyon. This isn't a community exorcism, it's a friendly lecture. The privilege is astonishing. But otherwise, no notes. Love it. Can't wait to come back tomorrow. I'd now like to bring up an old friend of mine. I've known Stephen for 41 years. He's been a member of Chautauqua for quite some time. I met him in New York City. He was an actor, and a really, really fine actor. And he went on to become a really, really fine teacher. And then he went on to become a member of this community, where I believe he's one of the sanest people I know here, which is the saddest commentary I can make on your community. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Stout.
This is a rant by Paul Harvey. I'm killing it. This is a man who needs a last name, but other than that, here we go. Everyone likes something that's free. So what the fuck is it with Chautauqua taking away our free air? Let me explain. For decades, the institution had a high-pressure free air hose across the road on Route 394. That's right, at one of the maintenance buildings. So if your car tires needed a boost, it was there. And God damn it, it was free! One of the very few things here that was fucking free. The old guy, the former president, raised millions of dollars and had a new Smucker maintenance building built in the back 40. You know, if it's a Smucker maintenance building, it has to be good. But I digress. They moved everything, but still didn't install a free air pump. Why? Who in their goddamn mind is against free air? I'm still waiting for that free air pump.
Stephen Stout. And I'd like to thank Paul Harvey for living on. Our next guest is someone I've also known for quite some time. He is he ran for a long time the Americans United for the separation of church and state. He spoke here this afternoon, and one of the reasons I like to stay close to him is he does a lot more than I would ever do, so it makes me feel like I'm a good person. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Lynn. I know, but it's something we didn't get a chance to work on. We don't rehearse this shit. It's all live. It's all the way it should be.
Well, thank you. Yes, I used to talk a lot about religion and a lot about the Supreme Court on cable television, where you cannot swear. And I'm not going to swear tonight, but I am going to tell you something that really pisses me off. Christian nationalism. What we used to call the religious right has been a pain in my posterior for my entire professional career. They have now virtual control over the entire country, including the Supreme Court. So when I hear that the court is going to consider future cases, I have to suppress projectile vomiting. Nothing worries me more than the possibility that this court will review some case about creationism. You know what creationism is? The Supreme Court's already dealt with it. They said it's unconstitutional to prohibit discussion of human evolution, and they also ruled that equal time cannot be given to evolution and creationism because that's a bogus, they didn't quite say it this way, pseudoscientific phrase couched as an alternative to evolution, much like mustard gas is an alternative to oxygen. Now, there are two big Christian nationalist places to go in Kentucky. The Ark Encounter. You've been there. It's a themed water park with a complete replica of Noah's Ark, which in its current configuration contains humans and dinosaurs. Now, having been to the seminary, I can tell you exactly what the Bible says about the height of Noah's Ark. 30 cubits, 45 feet. So these dinosaurs better be really small, babies, or there is no way you're going to fit a pair of Tyrannosaurus rexes into that vessel. Then there are unicorns on the Ark. I was once on Anderson Cooper's show on CNN having a debate with the guy who created the Ark Encounter, Ken Ham. And he talked about the unicorns, and I said, you know, unicorns are fictional animals. When I walked out of the studio, Anderson Cooper's producer came out and said, Barry, what you just said has ruined the lives of millions of little girls. I didn't intend to do that. Okay, the guy earlier had created the Creationism Museum. That's where parents can take their small children and convince them that they've been lied to in science classes in public schools, but that really the Earth is only 6,000 years old. I wanted to go see the Creation Museum. I was speaking nearby, but I couldn't get in because the road was closed because of a jackknife double-wide trailer. So all of a sudden, those crude, silly, offensive claims about Kentuckians turned out to be reality that day. When it first opened, there was a bit of a scandal because the actor playing Adam, of Adam and Eve, in the opening video, as you entered the museum, turned out to be a male gay porn actor. Oh yeah, that's funny, but here's what I wonder. If you're the guy that notices this, how do you go up and tell the people who run the museum that he's a gay porn actor, and how you know that in the first place? And Christian nationalists, they really don't like LGBTQ people, not at all. They really don't, and they're very nasty to them. Christian nationalists are always trying to convert gay people to straight people. But I can guarantee you this: there are far more people at ex-straight conventions than there are at the ex-gay conventions promoted by Christian nationalism. Thank you.
Barry Lynn. Thank you, Barry. From Olivia Asp. I hate it when people say a tomato is a fruit. No, it's not. You can't fool me. You think you're smart? I know a tomato is a vegetable in my heart. And I don't give a rat's ass what the science has to say about it. And I give less of a rat's ass about you correcting me. But that wasn't enough. I have a beef with the concept of time. I don't care that after midnight it's tomorrow. No, it's not. Tomorrow only happens after I go to sleep and wake up the next day. I also don't like how Americans think the week starts on Sunday. No, it does not. Monday is when everything starts, you buffoons. I do not like when people change their phone settings to type in all lowercase always. Be a man. Use capital letters sometimes. Thank you, Olivia. I'd like to do something we've never done. I'm going to have two folks read a rant that we got. It's Deborah Sunya Moore, who you know here as the chief program director. And she is reading with Kelly Carlin, who is the one who got me completely involved with the village of Jamestown and now Chautauqua. But she's... and she has a wonderful Rantcast that I can't remember the name of. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Carlin and Deborah Sunya Moore.
This rant comes from Mary Warwick. Technology. Let's talk about it. Has technology made my life better? No. For example, have you noticed social media isn't even social? We're all just sitting alone in our houses, scrolling endlessly. We used to go out. We used to have fun. We'd drink, dance, make bad decisions. When was the last time you saw a guy with a lampshade on his head? Everything is fucking boring now.
And texting? Oh, texting is a gift. If you're deaf, which, I hate to break it to you, I am not. I used to just call someone. Now, it takes 45 minutes to plan lunch because everyone wants to send little cartoon thumbs instead of speaking actual words. Decades ago, we had technological advances that made sense. The microwave, the dishwasher, the garage door opener, magic. That thing's saved marriages. And let's talk about the cigarette filter. Sure, it didn't make smoking safe, but it gave me just enough time to die of something else. But the greatest invention, the one true MVP,
the television remote. Suddenly, I could sit on my ass for 10 straight hours, watching shows I would never remember. It was beautiful. That was progress. But now, we get a new phone every year, and when it stops working, we don't fix it. We bury it in the ocean. The people still on the Titanic are probably texting each other with Blackberries or an iPhone 2G. By the way, did you know the Titanic had a swimming pool? Turns out they didn't need it. You know what I miss?
Paper. That's right, paper. You could recycle it or not. It didn't care. We published books and newspapers because people read. The only people who scrolled were in the Bible. We had maps that worked even when we were in the middle of goddamn nowhere. We used wall calendars to keep track of appointments because we just weren't that damn busy.
And photos. Real photos. We printed out photographs by visiting a little orange hut in the grocery store parking lot. A disgruntled teenager would hand us an envelope full of memories, and we would hand him cash. There was just a one-time fee, not a subscription for all eternity. It was fantastic. And then we put these photos into scrapbooks, actual tangible proof we existed. Not that anybody cared.
And the smart people, they had the card catalog. Research meant reading books. Sometimes, by accident, you'd learn something you weren't even looking for. That's called serendipity. Google does not lend itself to serendipity. Google lends itself to advertising because the most unpatriotic thing you can do is save your money.
Decades ago, paper was so great, we glued it onto our walls. We called this wallpaper. And paper was money. Cheating on your taxes was so much easier. Oh, you don't believe me? Ask your plumber if there's a discount for cash. There will be. Oh, and checks. We'd put checks in the mail. No security, no encryption. Back in the day, if someone had your bank info, they couldn't do anything at all. Because the people trying to scam you in Nigeria were just too busy scamming each other.
It was a simpler time. Let me tell you how great paper was. When the soldiers came back from World War II after saving the planet from evil, what did we give them?
A parade! And you know what we threw at them?
Confetti! Shredded ticker tape.
That's the thanks they got for saving democracy. And they were happy.
I am sad to see paper go because I know it's only a matter of time
before I'm expected to use an app
to wipe my ass. Thank you, Cal. From Alana Dunoff. I've noticed a disturbing trend of parking lots becoming trash cans for disposable tooth flosses. The little plastic pieces with dental floss, they're everywhere. And the more you look, the more you see them. I used to think COVID masks being littered was gross, but this is beyond disgusting. I keep trying to picture these people flossing their teeth in their car or in the parking lot of Target or the grocery store. Flossing their teeth and then just throwing the pick on the ground as if they will somehow be absorbed into the pavement and back to the earth where they came from. I, admitting, have become a little obsessed, taking photos of these flossers at parking lots, at the market, the bank, walking trails. I've amassed a collection for my expose one day. And people wonder why I read this stuff. Please help to stop this super gross habit. Not sure what is worse, cigs butts or flossers, just yuck. Thank you, Alana. From Garry Hammer, quick and to the point. Why the fuck does everybody need you to take a survey? I mean, really. Whenever I buy a pack of chewing gum at 7-Eleven, they want to know, how did we do? I'm going to bring Stephen Stout back to the stage.
This is a rant from Marcy Smothers. Gym goers who make their own rules. Hogging a bench and lifting a few dumbbells every 15 minutes. They are texting on their cell phones or watching movies rather than exercising, or talking loudly on their cell phones. Women, in particular, take a mat and surround it with all the weights they'll need. Hogging 6 or 8 when they can only lift 2 at a time. Not wiping butt sweat off the equipment. Staying on the equipment longer than 30 minutes when others are obviously waiting. The Q-tip women that are naturally thin and can eat 2 double-doubles at In-N-Out without gaining an ounce. Yet, they have the most judgy glances. Not using AirPods and subjecting others to their crappy music. Men that take their shirt off to work out and stare at themselves and flex pecs. Gross! I'm all for no mirrors in gyms, so focus on the workout, not checking muscles or primping. They are not just gym rats. They are entitled, spoiled, steroid brats. Thank you. And this is a rant by Brian Michael. What the heck is going on with the bell tower? Every day at 6, it goes off like it's trying to summon ghosts. 15 minutes of chaotic clanging with hardly any rhythm or reason. It's usually not even a tune, just random bells like a toddler got trapped in a wind chime. Who's up there? And how much Starbucks did they give Quasimodo?
Stephen Stout. Mike Mullen, thank you for this. If you could read this during your Chautauqua visit, I think you'll find this applies to 98% of the audience. Oh, you're going to enjoy this. You know what drives me up a goddamn wall? Old people. Not just any old people, no. I mean the ones who act like time stopped in 1954, and we're all just extras in their black and white sitcom memories. Every time I go outside, there's some septuagenarian in a Buick the size of a battleship doing 11 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, turning left from the right lane while signaling. Nothing. You ever get behind one of these geriatric land captains? You don't know if you're following a car or an obituary in progress. And don't even get me started on how they treat technology. I can't figure out the email. It's a button, Edna. A button that says send. You sent a man to the moon in '69. But now Gmail is sorcery? They've got 14 pill organizers, 8 doctor's appointments a week, and more insurance cards than a damn blackjack dealer. But they still think COVID was a hoax and seatbelts are restrictive. And yet, they control everything. Congress? Mostly old people. HOA boards? Old people. The last 3 people who yelled at me in a Walgreens about the price of batteries? All old people. They hoard plastic bags like they're currency in the apocalypse. They call you at 6:30 a.m. like it's a reasonable time to be alive. And they will tell you without blinking how cheap everything used to be, right before tipping 35 cents on a $19 lunch. Like it's a favor to mankind. But you know what really kills me? They'll look you dead in the eye and say, enjoy it while you're young, as if aging is a surprise twist ending. Like, what? I get wrinkles and back pain? Nobody told me that part. God bless them, but holy hell, get off the road, hang up the landline, and stop forwarding chain emails. I got a phone full of memes from Aunt Ruth about how liberals are turning the frogs into communists. I swear to God, if one more retiree tells me I just need to work harder, I'm going to throw my back out on purpose. just to qualify for early AARP. Returning to the stage, Kelly Carlin. And the name of her terrific podcast is Humans on the Verge.
This is a rant by Ren Furman. Fuck menopause. Hot flashes are like I'm being microwaved from the inside. Oh, and these dumbass gummies that are supposed to give me back my life do fucking nothing. I mean, nothing. It's like manufacturers kick their feet up in the air with glee to each woman that remains a pile of resentful, snarling sweat. My ass keeps getting larger, and my joints still hurt. My hair is falling out, and I can't get any attention. I'm like the Phantom of the Opera without the mask. And the prescription bottles for my estrogen? Some maniacal fuck decided to make the font micro-fucking-scopic. I have to find my phone, use the flash, take the fucking picture, open up the app to see the photo, then blow up the text to be able to read it. Little shits. No one cares. No one cares because the patriarchy sucks. And so does anyone under 50 years old thinking they have problems. Fuckers.
Kelly Carlin. And now, from Rick Sendo, this is an actual survey request that we received from the Chautauqua institution. We value your feedback and would love to hear about your ticket purchasing experience. The survey should take no more than 3 to 5 minutes to complete. When they send you, I've done a couple recently because I'm bored shitless, and just to see what and then they give you a box and say, would you explain further? No! I'll do 1 to 10. Yeah, it was 6. Why do you think it was 6? 'Cause I like the number. I'm going to end with this, and then I have a few more words to say because I can't shut up. I cannot believe that someone wrote this. I could not be happier. It's a perfect ending. It says a great deal of what I feel, and it's just spot on. And I think it's a lovely way to end the time that we've had together. This rant is by Jason Hanam. Let me tell you about a little place called the Chautauqua Institution. It's in upstate New York, tucked next to a lake so unnaturally peaceful, it looks like it was designed in a lab by Mr. Rogers and Gwyneth Paltrow. Norman Rockwell saw it once and said, "Nope, too much. They'll think I'm mocking them." You step onto the grounds and immediately feel like you've walked into an aggressively polite utopia. Like if NPR and Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me were a gated community with a scone policy. So what do people do here? They talk, they think, they discuss. And not casual, How was your day talk? No, these are capital D discussions, where you ask someone for directions, and suddenly you're in a 3-act play about whether Yoda was technically a war criminal. It's like summer camp for people who write strongly worded letters to the New Yorker and sign them concerned but respectful. The daily schedule, 9 a.m., the ethics of artificial intelligence in late capitalism. 11 a.m., a string quartet plays something so devastatingly mournful, it should come with a therapist. 2 p.m., a Yale professor leads a silent meditation while folding Plato's Republic into an original origamic. God, I mean, they're words, Lewis, read them. While folding Plato's Republic into an origami phoenix and sobbing quietly into his matcha. I'd have been sad if I lost that laugh. By 5 p.m., you're so intellectually exhausted, you'd pay someone to hit you in the head with a stick. And you better hope it's a sustainably harvested stick, or you'll get a whole other lecture. And the people, everyone looks like a Reiki healer who also teaches postmodern ethics at a Vermont liberal college while they drink herbal tea with names like Enlightenment Fog and Societal Reckoning Spice. The conversations. Sandra, there was a deeply meaningful comment about late-stage democracy. Thank you, Greg. I think nuance is the only remaining form of resistance. Nuance? You're quoting Chomsky while nibbling fennel sausage like authoritarianism's afraid of goat cheese and big words. The interfaith lectures. I sat through a rabbi, a Buddhist, and a mystic. I sat through a rabbi, a Buddhist, and a mystic agree for 90 minutes that love is important. No debate, no conflict, just 3 brilliant minds playing spiritual footsie while the audience nodded so hard someone dislocated a vertebrae. I'm not saying they were wrong. Of course love is important. But if I wanted to hear that for an hour and a half, I'd call my grandmother and let her read me her refrigerator magnets. I like ideas, I do. I like thoughtfulness. I even like quiet reflection, but don't serve it to me with lavender-infused still water and act like it's going to solve geopolitical collapse. You know what solves problems? Action. You know what doesn't? Forming a jazz trio to interpret the climate crisis through interpretive bassoon solos while a guy named Everett reads Freud over the bongos. And let's talk about cost. You pay thousands of dollars to come here and think. You know where I do my thinking? In the shower. For free! And the acoustics are better. Here you drop a few grand for the privilege of having your worldview massaged by a man in a bow tie, explaining democracy using a chalkboard and a fucking flute. Chautauqua is the only place where you can hear the phrase, the human condition, 9 times before lunch, and somehow still leave feeling like you're the dumb one. It's not a retreat, It's bordering on a hostage situation. Run by philosophy majors. But here's the thing. It's still kind of beautiful. It's weird. It's overwhelming. It's like a think tank, a Renaissance fair, and a farmer's market got locked in a wine cellar for a weekend and came out emotionally raw, but spiritually enlightened. So, if you're looking for a vacation where you can pay top dollar to be waterboarded by civility, gently beaten with ethics, and then tucked into bed by a string quartet playing Bach's concerto for overeducated Americans, so come to Chautauqua and bring your yoga mat. Because nothing says revolution like Downward Dog. In a lecture on the postmodern theory of hope delivered by a man named Sebastian, who once cried during a Ken Burns documentary about lighthouses. Thank you, Jason. And thank you all for joining us this evening. And I'd like to thank Allie for that extraordinary gift. And actually making it really possible for comedy to return here on a regular basis. It's gonna be tough for some of you. The idea that, oh my God, what's that feeling? What's happening in the pit of me? Why do I feel this inkling to smile? But I don't understand why. Son of a bitch, this is weird. And it's going to get weirder. And the only thing that's going to save you from that weirder is laughter. And so the gift you've been given is extraordinary. And the fact that it was given in the name of Mark Russell is profound. For he knew that gift, and he was able to give it every time he sat down at the piano. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the Ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.